Most people think death is the end of life, of good times, the end of, well, pretty much everything. But those people are wrong, dead wrong, and I should know. I died almost a year ago. Riley has crossed into the afterlife with her parents and dog Buttercup after learning that her sister was the sole survivor in a car crash. After learning of her assignment as a soul catcher, her guide, Bodhi, must take her to meet the Radiant Boy. If she can cross him over, Bodhi must teach her to fly to London. Radiance by Alison Knoll. The Blue Room, home of your newfound friend. Home of a 10-year-old. Riley, it's not what you think. There's more to the story. He's a ghost. He's 10. I need to convince him to move on. Seriously, how hard can it be? It's not like he can kill me, you know? Can I have at him? I have a flying lesson to get to. And then Buttercup and I were on the other side of the door. The room shook. Objects flew. I cowered against the wall, too afraid to close my eyes for what I might miss, but too afraid to open them for what I might see. The Radiant Boy towered menacingly, having grown 3 times his size. The blonde curls morphed into 3-headed snakes. His eyes were edged 2 fiery, flaming pits focused on me, though it was nothing compared to his mouth of an infinite black hole. He was the scariest thing I'd ever seen in both my life and death combined, and that includes my worst nightmares, shows on TV, and movies that I watched when I wasn't allowed to see them. Nowhere had I ever seen anything quite as frightening as he. No trip to London could ever be worth it. And flying was clearly overrated. But just as I turned, sneaking 1 foot halfway through the wall to exit, I thought about failing and just how awful that always makes me feel. Just what are you trying to prove here? Then he morphed into something far worse, transforming into a crazed circus clown with huge red shoes that leered at me with his creepy face. I was just about to bolt when I found I couldn't. I was strapped to a dentist chair. I opened my mouth to scream, clamping it shut as soon as I saw the picks and needles he wielded before me, and that's when I realized what was truly going on. The Radiant Boy had seen right through me. He tapped into my deepest fears. I was well on my way to join in the ranks of every soul catcher who'd come before me and failed. I was about to beg him to stop, then he emitted a roar so loud that I couldn't help but peek, watching in terror as he transformed into every movie monster from the past 30 years. And then I knew he didn't know me at all, hadn't tapped into the deepest part of me like I thought. He merely tapped into all the usual fears, and the only thing keeping me here, scared out of my wits and trapped to this chair, was my belief that he had some kind of power over me. And once I realized that, I just calmly unbuckled all the harnesses and watched the Radiant Boy falter in a way that split him into 3. 2 of them choosing to hang back as one stepped forward as their leader. Why aren't you afraid of us? Well, if it makes you feel better, clearly in the beginning I was, but then you started with all the scary monster stuff and, well, let's just say it was pretty much a dead giveaway. Pun intended. We're not leaving if that's what you're here for, and if you continue to insist, well, it's just a big fat waste of your time. Did it ever occur to you guys that maybe you're the ones wasting your time? What's the payoff? What's the payoff? Fame. Worldwide fame is the payoff. I'm just telling you, you have a choice. You can either stay here and continue to scare the bejesus out of people, or you can move on to a place that's new. Is now the time when you make the light appear? No, silly. Now's the time when I take you to the bridge. You still up for that flying lesson? Here's the thing. Even after I'd already succeeded where others had failed and I was successfully airborne, neither one of us had any idea what to do with one little problem named Buttercup. He's domesticated, is what I realized. So when I called for Bodhi to join me, urging him to soar alongside me, headed straight toward London to commit so fully that Buttercup would make Buttercup think that we were leaving behind, never to return. Bodhi agreed. And just when I was sure couldn't take it anymore, just as I was about to swoop down toward my poor dog and scoop him into my arms, I saw him. Buttercup had found his new favorite pastime, and he took to it as naturally as a bird. The moment we got to London, I knew. The River of Thames, the Big Ben. We flew over it all. Hey, Riley, watch out! I snapped my eyes open only to find myself soaring head-on into one of those buildings that had the kind of glass that reflects everything around you, and I was struck. I was struck by me. And by the way, my whole body was glowing.